right, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Code Your Future 40 Minutes Coding Workshop for non coders in partnership, of course, with DICT Region 4A and 4B. I am King and I will be your host for this afternoon. So, I just wanted to know, medyo madami-dami pala tayong mga participants for today, no? So, we have 105 participants watching right now. So I just wanted to ask, is this your first time in joining any CYF coding workshop? So para malaman natin kung if first time mo siya, first time mo ba, type 1 if this is your first time, type 2 if second time mo nang mag-join ng any CYF coding workshop, or type 3 kung medyo madami-dami kang nang nasalihan na coding workshop ni StackTrek. So okay, let's go on our comments. Yan, okay. So, puro mga first-timer pala 'tong mga nandito. So, kamusta naman kayo, guys? So, from first time niyo bang magta-try mag-code or hindi naman? Okay. So, puro mga first-timer na joiner pala natin 'to sa coding workshop. And I hope you guys would enjoy kasi this is gonna be the first time. If it's your first time to to really code, this is gonna be your first time to create a what do you call this? Parang a project, programming project, no, after 40 minutes. So I hope that you guys will be able to enjoy itong ating coding workshop. Okay. Okay. Hindi na may mga ano tayo dito, hindi naman first time mag-code, no. So maybe it's part of their curriculum when they're in high school or college, na try nilang mag-code, yan. So, okay. So while at it, I hope that you guys please do share our stream, the link to your friends and family, and remember to use the hashtag code your future PH. And of course, there will also be a info session or an info session later on after the workshop. So kindly stay lang for a bit later. Okay. So before that, before we go on to our coding workshop, I know that you guys are very much excited to learn na, no, kung paano mag-code or paano mag-try makapag-code ng pinakauna yung i-code. So let's give you a quick overview lang of CYF. Especially marami-rami tayong mga first-timer dito. So CYF, it's an initiative with the Department of Information and Communications Technology. This initiative aims to really elevate more Filipinos to become tech professionals through tech education. So bakit nga ba tech industry? Ano yung mga bagay na dapat nating kino-consider kung bakit natin gusto mag-shift into tech industry? First, highest salary profession in any industries because syempre high demand, madami and it's really more on technological aspect mas marami nang nagde-demand for mga tech professionals. Second, yun nga, high demand. And third, meron siyang work flexibility and you would be able to work remotely. So kapag programmer ka, as long as you have your laptop, you have a strong internet connection, kahit saan pwede ka magtrabaho. And then lastly, no formal education required sa tech industry. Kasi even though you're not a graduate of an IT, as long as you're very hardworking and you really have the passion to be part of the IT industry, as long as andun naman yung mga materials natin online, it's really available. Maraming materials na pwede nyong gamitin in terms of enhancing your skills and programming. So, and of course, joining Code Your Future can be your stepping stone to becoming a successful tech professional. And of course, you're not alone in this tech journey. So, you can join the CYF FB community and connect with our fellow Filipinos and get the latest updates. And of course, if you want to be part naman of our growing community, don't forget to join the Code Your Future FB community where you can connect again with your fellow Filipinos and career shifters. And you can also get the latest updates on upcoming events and coding workshops. And of course, maaaring pwede kang maging part ng ating event organizer. So pwede kang maging host, pwede kang mag-create ng sarili mong event, a Code Your Future for your organization. Okay. And of course, to give us an opening message before we proceed with our coding, no? So let's all welcome from DICT Regional Office 4, Director Cheryl C. Ortega. Good afternoon, Direct Cheryl. Is she here?
A pleasant morning to our respective partners from StackTrek and to our registered participant from various sectors in Calabarzon and Mimaropa. The advent of digital technology has greatly affected the availability of opportunities for our personal and professional growth as it opened up more chances for career development without requiring one's physical presence. With this scenario at hand, the importance of strengthening the ICT skills of our fellow Filipinos is part of our mandate in the department as we aspire for the Philippines to develop and flourish through innovation and constant development of ICT. Given this vision, it will be hard for us to succeed alone. Thus, we are grateful for this partnership with StackTrek as we offer ways to welcome more digitally inclined and ready individuals on our transition to a digital Philippines. Code Your Future initiative, jointly launched by the DICT and StackTrek, is the country's largest tech talent development project that aims to create more job-ready programmers that meets the need of the tech industry and is really a perfect venue to provide ideas and knowledge and vision to give profound opportunities in information and communications technology. May it be in strengthening of academic or employment careers of our participants. I am excited on what our partners from StackTrek can offer to all our non-coders on this 40 minutes coding workshop, and may our participants be able to pass on the knowledge to other people so you can likely take part as we work together in harmony in looking forward to a digitized nation, because technology in the classroom is not the end goal. Enabling learning everywhere is the goal, and that is a quote from Andrew Ladders.
All right. So thank you very much, Director Cheryl, for that very warm message to our participants for today. Okay, so now we're diving into the most exciting part of this event. So if you're excited nga, mag-comment nga kayo na excited kayo sa comment section natin para malaman naman natin kung sino yung mga participants natin na really excited na to do their first code. Okay, so if of course, if you have any problems during the workshop, just type them in the comment section so that our team would be able to assist you. Okay, so let's now proceed for the in the coding workshop. We have with us here Biliran Province State University's part-time instructor and one of our bootcamp trainers at StackTrek. Let's all welcome Stephen Jansen D. Balo. Good afternoon, Stephen.
Good afternoon po. Okay. Share ko lang yung screen ko po. Okay na po ba? Ano na po ano? See. Okay, so once again, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to our 40-minute coding workshop for non-coders in partnership with the DICT Regional 4A and 4B. Now, before we begin with our coding workshop, I'd just like to present some few reminders, particular with your codes indentation, because the language that we'll be using for today's workshop will be Python, and Python is quite strict when it comes to indentation. So anyway, once we dive into the coding part, into the hands-on, I will show you how you're going to properly indent your code so that it's smooth yung program natin later. Okay, so with all that, and let's begin. But first, let me introduce you some programming. Some important programming language concepts. And yung first that we discuss with is about data types. So one of the most common and important data types you need to know are integers. So integers, these are basically whole numbers. Like for example, 5 right here in this slide. Uh, what else aside from that is 6, 7 positive numbers, even negative numbers like -1, -2, or 0, as well as your age. So that's an example of a value whose data type can be considered as an integer. Okay. So the other data type we need to take note also is the floating point. So basically, floating point are just numbers with decimal places, like 2.5. If you're familiar with your math, the pi number, which is 3.14, yeah, and even negative floating points, or -2.5. Yeah. So those are some examples of floating point data types. And another data type here is commonly used in Python is strings. So strings are sequence of Unicode characters. So a perfect example of that is yung name natin, or yung ID ng school ID or driver's license ID. Okay? And typically in strings, we usually put it in within quotes. So could be a single quote or double quote to represent na yung value na yun is string siya. And then we also have what we call multi-line strings that are usually, it will cover around 2 or more lines of code. And in order for us to represent multi-line strings, we use triple, tatlong successive na single quotes, or three triple double quotes. Okay. So here's a example code to show you what I mean. For example, in this first string right here, as you notice now, it starts with a double quote, and then followed by a capital letter T, and then followed by the H characters, I, S, and so on and so forth. And then, as you notice, yung pinakadulo, we have also another double quotation. So that's need to take note in representing strings. Kailangan kung nag-start siya with double quote, it should also end with double quote. So yeah. Now for the multi-line string, as you notice, parang nahati yung strings into 2 lines. Yung first part nasa yung a multi-line. And then yung other end of, or the remaining characters ng string nasa next line. Okay? And notice also that it starts with a tatlong successive na single quotes and also ended with 3 successive single quotes. So yeah, that's an example of multi-line string. And this is usually used if yung string is napakahaba na siya. Let's say, umabot siya sa bilang end ng editor na yung other remaining strings di na siya makita. So by using multi-line strings, you could enable to organize your code, your string rather. Okay, so that's all for the data types. Then let's proceed with the other concept in programming. We have here conditionals, or another term for that is if-else statements. So if-else statements are statements used in Python for decision making. Okay? So executes both the true part and the false part of a given condition. So parang ang analogy of this is like when we're driving. If you tried driving on the road, at some point you will reach a certain point na parang may detour. Yung isang road leads to the left side, yung isa leads to the right side. And of course, as you need to only choose isa lang na path. Okay? And whatever path yung pipiliin mo will lead to a different destination. So the same way in programming, ganon din yung concept niya. But the catch here is you have a condition that needs to be satisfied. And kung ano man yung evaluation ng condition natin, that will dictate kung anong block siya yung code, mag-proceed. So if yung condition is true, no, the if block code is executed. And if the condition is false, the else block code is executed instead. Okay. So to show you what I mean, I have a visual example. Okay. This is what we call as a flow chart. And as you notice, yung mga arrows start from the top and then going downward. So, kunyari yan yung flow ng program. No? And we start with the test expression. No? So, the program will check the expression, itong diamond na to, check na if yung true ba to or false. So, if true, our code will proceed with the body of if. No? Kung ano yung mga statements within that if block, no? It will be executed. And then after that, it will proceed with the rest of the instructions or codes sa program. On the other hand, if mag-false yung test expression, it will divert into the body of else. Okay. So, going back to the analogy in driving, parang ano lang, yeah. For example, yung test expression is, if yung road is traffic, liko ako sa right. But if false, wala siyang traffic, I will go straight ahead. So that's an example of if else. So yeah, okay. So that's what conditional state or if else statements are all about. And there you go. Okay. So I guess that's all the concepts that we need to be familiar with as we proceed with our next part of coding now. Now, okay, so just to give you a idea of how our coding playground should look like, so parang ito po siya. Okay? Just make sure on the upper right side on your editor that you select Python as the programming language. Okay. Now, let's proceed with the next part of our workshop, which is yung program that we're going to make for this workshop. Now, to give you a scenario, no, I'm sure most of the participants are already adults, no, or turning adults. And one of the main responsibilities natin as a adult is to budget our money. So why do we budget our money? Of course, in order to save. And why do we save? It's because perhaps you want to buy or build your dream house, or save para sa future tuition mo in college. So yan, no? So if we could make a program that would help us with our financial goals, no, that would be great. Right? Now, to be more specific, no, here's what we're going to work out in our program. No? And to be specific, no, the program that we'll be making in our workshop today should enable us users to know if your income is enough, and how much percentage falls into every bill category. Like, for example, yung food. How much percent ba yung na-allocate nito with my total bills? No? How about my water bill, or my electric bill, and the transportation expenses. So aside from that, the program also that we'll be making it should enable the users to know how much money you will save. Depende sa income at saka yung total bill niya. Okay? And then lastly is to also allow us users to know what income class our income, our salary belongs to, falls into. So here are the inputs. We have the income, food, water bill, electricity bill, and transportation bill. Okay. So all of these inputs are mga monetary po yan, mga pera po. Okay. Okay. So since pera po siya, most likely, definitely yung suitable na data type niya will be floating point. Okay. And as for the income classes natin, we have the following. Just to make it simple, we have three. First, we have lower income class, which is your income ratio is less than 24,164. And as for the middle income class, we have 24,164.1 up to 144,983.99 pesos. And then lastly is pag greater than or equal to 144,984, that would be upper income class na siya. And as for the output, our program will I will output the following. First, the total income, then its corresponding income class, the bill for each category and its percentage, then a total bill. And lastly, if it will print if the income is enough and how much is the savings. But if the income is not enough, it will print how much added is needed. Okay. Now, for those who are already, wait lang pa, just exit lang po to. Okay. Because we will be proceeding now with the coding playground. No? Now, for those who are haven't opened yet the coding playground, you can check your StackTrek platform. It's right here po at the left side of the platform. Just click this one, then it will open the coding playground. And then just make sure that before we begin, that you have 5 inputs na nakalagay sa custom input mo. Okay. Tapos, you can input anything as long as yung data type na is integer or floating point. Okay. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin with our coding playground. Now, before we start, kindly type in the chat for those who already accessed the playground, type playground in the chat. Okay. So let's just wait for a couple of seconds before we begin. Again, for those who have opened on their playground, the coding playground, type playground in the chat. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we should start now. Now, for the first part of our code, we're going to first define our constant values. So before that, I will enter itong tinatawag na comment. And we start by typing a hashtag and then followed by whatever description you want. And this example for this workshop, let's type here constant values. Okay? So yung purpose ng constant ng comments, usually comment starts with hashtag. The purpose is to add description to the codes in the program so that other developers could know what's going on in your code. Para siyang, you add some, as a developer, you add some explanations behind it in your code. So, okay, so right after that, let us define our first constant value. And let's name it as lower income max. Oh, sorry. Max. And then you just make sure na capital letters yung that mga characters. And then we'll assign it with a value of let's check back yung natin. Balik tayo dito. Okay. So lower income yung with the range, yung maximum niya is yung 24,964. So therefore, yung value natin dito would be 24,164. Okay. Then as for the second constant, we're going to define, let's name it upper income min. Okay, it's equals to, let's go back to our slide. Let's set it to 144,984. 5,184. And there you go. Okay. Wait. Wait. I'll zoom in lang para mas clear. Okay. I guess this should do. I think okay na to. Hopefully, kindly type lang if there's kung clear ba yung yung code natin. Okay, so anyway, right after defining the constants, proceed na tayo with the, ito nga pala, nakalimutan ko, yung inputs pa pala. So again, before tayo mag-proceed, we should have already entered our custom inputs, no? So again, make sure the 5 inputs yung ilalagay natin dito. So let's say, for example, the first input is 25,000. That's for the income. And let's just say 4,000 for the food. Then, 500 na lang siguro. 5,000. And then 300 followed by 4,000 and then 400. Anyway, pwede naman you can enter as any value you want as long as siya, floating point or integer. Pwede nyo nga itong let's add some para yung float talaga siya. Okay? So once you have your custom inputs right here below, going back to our code, we're going to proceed to the next part, which is to get the inputs from the user. Okay? So let's just type here a comment para mag-guide it tayo, no? Inputs. Okay? And then the first input na kukunin natin is this one, yung pinakauna. Okay? Which is the income. So how do we do that, no? First, we need to define itong tinatawag natin na variables, no? So variables are just like containers, no? Parang lang yan, in our trash bins, no? Diba meron tayong mga trash bins na usually dalawa, no? And we kind of label them according to their purpose. Yung itong container na to, this is for the non-biodegradable, and then yung other container is for the biodegradable. So in programming, we could also do yung concept niya with the containers is something like that here, and we call that as variables, no? So to define variables, we just need to write the name. Ano ba yung pangalan ng variable natin? So let's just name it as income. Okay? Anyway, itong constant value then, by the way, this is also a variable then. But to be specific, yung tawag niya is constant value. Kasi hindi na ito mababago yung value niya. Kaya constant tawag. Now here, yung value na dito will vary depende sa input. That's why this is what we call as a variable. Anyway, we'll assign this income variable to the value of the input of the user. So how do I get the input, the first input right here? Of course, we don't, di natin to i-input manually, no? Kasi dapat dynamic yung code natin. So in order for us to do that, we type input and then followed by open close parenthesis. Basically, we are calling the input function. No? And then after that, since itong input function, you might think na ito, yung i-return na value nito, yung data type niya is floating point. But this is a string. It will return a string. So that's why we have to do a follow-up, no? Para maging floating point yung data type ng income, you have to call another function called float. Okay? Pasok lang natin yung input function inside the open close parenthesis of the float function. And yeah, that's how we could get the first input for our income. So for the next input, itong 5,000, this is for the food. No? So just type here food. If you want your name of your variable to be food, and we'll assign it to the value of kanon pa rin, no? Since nakuha na natin yung first input, so in order to get to the next input, we have to just call lang. Tawagan lang natin itong input and then convert na natin to float. So basically, kung ano yung ginamit natin dito, gano'n lang din po with the food. Okay? So by the way, for those who are wondering paano yung shortcut, you can just simply highlight this and then right click and then choose the copy menu or Control C for those who are already expert with the shortcuts, and then right click on it and then paste. Yeah. Okay, let's just do this para mas madali tayo makaproceed. Anyway, next for the water, ganoon lang din naman, same. So I'll just copy paste lang. And then for the electricity, I'll just copy paste. And then last but not least, we have here the transportation, and I'll just copy. And there you go. So we're already done with the getting with the inputs of our from our custom input right here. No? Now, for those who are already done with this part, kindly type in the chat the inputs. No? Just like yung sa comment na nilagay ko, kindly type inputs for those who are already done with this part. Okay, medyo marami-rami na po. Let's just wait for a short while for the rest of the participants. Okay. Okay. Sige. So I guess we should proceed now with next part of our code. No? So now that we're already done with the getting with the inputs, no, from the custom input from the user. So the next part of our code is to do the computations. No? So going back to our major goal ng natin program, di ba? When our program needs to output the following, right? Total income, income class, the bills, and percentage. So before we could output these values, whatever is, we have to do some computation. Okay, so that's why I'll just type here computation. So yung first nating na i-determine, no, di ba, as mentioned kanina, that our program should be able to tell kung anong category na belong yung anong income class rather na belong yung income natin. No? So let's go back to our slide just to refresh lang. No? So according here, pag yung income natin daw is less than 24,164, lower income daw siya, and so on and so forth. So in this table right here, we would actually use the if-else statement na i-explain ko kanina. No? And in order to use the if statement, no? So first we type here if na keyword, right? And then followed by the condition. So usually yung syntax niya, usually siya, parang ganito lang. No? I'll just quickly type lang the condition or the test expression, like that, and then followed by the colon. No? So ito, you can this can be changed depende sa ano yung gusto mo, no. But for this case, no, since we want to translate this table into our if-else statement. No? So let's start with the lower income class. And according here, if income now is less than 24,164, the income class is lower income class. So yung gagawin natin with the condition is we'll type here income is less than. Yung less than is yung parang yung sa mathematics na less than, which is katabi lang sa letter M, less than na symbol, and then followed by equal sign or symbol, which is lang nasa backspace lang, and then equals to. So dito napapasok yung constant value na define natin kanina. Ito, magagamit na natin po ito. Okay, so let's just copy paste lang. Excuse me. Copy lang natin to, and then we paste. Okay. And there you have it. So ito yung condition natin for our if statement. No? If yung income is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to lower income max, yung ano niya is yung income class niya is lower income class. So okay, pag in-enter niyo po, no, type kayo ng enter, automatic po niya na mag-insert ng indentation. So ito yung mention ko kanina na indentation that we need to pay attention with. Kasi kung wala itong indentation, mag-error po yung code nyo. Okay, so why is there an indentation? Because this will define your if block. So, ano yung mga statements sa if block mo? So, ano ba yung mangyayari with our if block? Diba? We will execute. Kung true yung statement dito, kung true to siya, itong condition natin, it will execute all statements in yung mga indent, naka-indent ng mga statements. So, yung mangyayari lang po is, we're going to define a variable, and let's name it as income class. Let's assign it with a value of a string. And remember, pag string yung value, we use double quote, pwedeng single quote, but make sure that dalawang single quote or dalawang double quote. So, ano lang, for this coding workshop, let's just use na lang para for consistency, double quotation. And then, yung string natin will be equal to lower income class. Yan. Okay. And there you go. Yun lang po yung statements natin for yung tawag ito. The statements that will be executed in our if block. So yun lang. If yung income is less than or equal to lower income class, let's just assign the value of our income class variable to this string. Okay. So next, what if mag-false to? Ano na yung mangyayari? We have to go back to our table right here. So dapat we should also check this condition na naman. No? Ito. So we're just going to translate this into Python code. Ito para. Now yung gagawin natin is will be enter the keyword if. Okay. Kasi false siya. So we have to proceed with another condition. No? Yung pagbasa nito is else if, but how you write it in Python is else if. Okay. Then we introduce also, just like we did right here in line 13, the condition or the test expression, which is ito. No? So yung gagawin na natin is we just enter right here, income is greater than lower income tax, lower income max. Tapos, followed by the and keyword. And then we type again, income is greater than at this time, we're going to use the other constant, upper income min, and then followed by colon. Okay, so let me check lang if tama po ba. Ayun. Okay, tama. Yan. Okay. So basically, what's going on right here is we have two conditions po. No? First is dapat income class is greater than lower income max, and income is less than the upper income mean. So both of these conditions have to be true para ma-execute natin so that it will execute the statements that needs to be executed. No? But if one of these conditions is false, so yeah, it will not execute the block right here. So right after this line. No? So yung mangyayari lang po with dito on line 16, we're just going to assign lang the income class with another string, but this time ano na siya? Middle income class. Okay? Yeah. And then for the last code, last income class, let's say kung false to and then false to. No? So, nangyayari, since wala nang ibang other route, no, there has to be in the if-else statement, there has to be at least isang block ang ma-execute. So, that's where we lang, no? You just enter lang the keyword, yung pinaka-last, no? Else keyword, followed by the column. No? And then we just assign income class is equals to middle income, upper income class. Okay. So there you go. No, with our, sa ano pala to, sa income class. Then for the other computations, we have the total bill. Okay. Because we're going to compute also the total bill. So yung ano lang nito is we're just going to add all the bills. No? Di ba, 4 yung bills natin. We're just going to add them all together. No? So we just simply plus food plus water plus electricity pa pala. Although pwede naman ma-interchange, but as long as yung 4 na variables natin, yung bills natin are present. Okay, so we have here the total bill. Yung value niya is yung result ng addition dito. Okay. Then we have also the percentage for each category. No? So we have here food. Let's define another variable, food percentage. And then yung formula niya is just simply food divided by the total bill. Yeah. Yung total, yung division, take note mo is, yung gagamitin natin is yung slash, which is katabi ng shift button. And then since percentage man ito, so we have to multiply this by 100. And yan. Okay. For the other remaining categories, ganun lang din yung po yung gagawin natin. So let's just copy paste na lang po ito para tayo madali. So here water percentage, food, palitan na natin to water. Okay. And then the other one, electricity percentage, and then electricity. And then last but not the least, transportation. Yeah. Okay. So next we have yung last na lang na computation is for the savings. So let's define another variable, savings, and then we assign it to basically yung income subtracted by the total bill. Okay. And there you go. So these are all the computations that we need, and then we'll proceed with the last portion of it. So for those who are done, kindly enter compute at the chat. Again, for those who are already done with this portion, kindly enter the keyword compute at the chat. Sige. Okay. Sige po. So I guess we'll proceed with the next and last portion na po with our program is to print na. No? Ipiprint na po natin yung kung ano yung naka-indicate dito. So first is we're going to type ko lang po yung comment para mag-guided po tayo. And then let's just we'll call the print function. Then inside between the open close parentheses, we'll lagay tayo ng string dito. And yung string natin is summary. Okay. So basically what happens is kung ano yung string natin dito, yun yung ipiprint yung dito sa output dito. Okay. So next, let's type another print. And this time we'll start with the F. Okay. And then dalawang double quotes. And then we'll start with the income. And then colon, and then space. Tapos, okay, so meron tayong F dito, no? So yung reason for that na meron tayong F is because we'll be injecting some variables dito sa string natin, no? So we want na in this string na makasali dito, no? Right after this sequence of characters, income, dapat right after dito is yung value ng income. So that's why we're going to enter income. Yan lang, wait lang, medyo mabilis. Type lang curly brace, open close curly brace, nasa katabi lang po ng letter P, and then the name of our variable, which is income. And then space, lagay tayo ng space, and then dash, then space para may separation, and then we type here the income class. So this time right after the income, yung isasali din natin kung ano yung value ng income class natin, variable. Okay. Next, we have the bills. Okay. For each category. So ganoon lang din po, F lang, and then food, tapos open close and food, and then separatean natin by space and dashes, isang dash then space, and then yung mismo, yung corresponding food percentage na. Now here's the catch, since yung percentage po is yung value nito, this is a float, no? Tendency nito is it could cover up to 2 or more decimal places. So para makontrol natin yung number of decimal places, we'll add a colon followed by period and then 2F. Yan lang. Okay? Colon, dot, period, at tapos 2F. And then we insert right here sa pinaka-last percent na character. Okay? Now with the rest of the categories, copy-paste na natin para madali. Water. And then, and then transportation, paste natin, and then, kalimutan ko pala yung electricity. So ano pa ba yung input natin? Okay. After that, yung yung magpiprint tayo kung may savings bar wala. No? So we'll be using an if condition dito. Okay? So ito check lang natin if the savings is greater than or equal to 0. Yung condition natin. So kung may savings daw, we will print the following. Uh, you are in budget and you save. Then, yung value mismo ng savings natin. So, gano'n lang din every time that you want to include a value of variable, ano mo lang, with double curly brace. And then pesos. Okay. Tapos, if false to, okay, so yung mayayari pag false, usually, yung savings dyan is negative. Kasi mas malaki yung gastos natin kumpara sa income. So we have to, I'll just copy paste natin para sa naman sila. Okay. You are short in budget and you need, so here's the catch. Ito, need neto na, kasi negative to, no? Most likely negative talaga to. So in order for us to, na positive po siya, we'll just multiply savings with a negative 1. Okay? Ito, this is dash po, dash, to make it a negative number. And then, yeah. So, we're done with our last portion. So, for those already finished po, kindly enter summary in the chat. Okay, once again, for those already done, kindly enter, type in the summary keyword. No? Type in summary in the chat. Okay, so balik lang tayo po sa other code natin. Review lang natin, no? Income. Okay. And then yung savings. Ganyan. So for those na para natin yung mga ongoing pa po yung pag-code. I'll just run na para makita niyo po yung output ng ating program. And yun. Okay. So as you notice po, summary, kung ilan yung print natin dito, ganon din po yung lalabas dito. Summary, income, middle income class. As you notice po, yung meron tayong 2 decimal places as defined natin dito sa code. Yung mga percentage natin. Tapos, you are in budget and you save. Okay. Now, let's just change. How about that? What if konti lang yung income natin? What will happen? No? Let's just click lang the run button and yun. Okay. So, notice nga nag-change po yung output ng ating code, yung program natin. Lower income na po siya. And then, you are in short in budget and you need something pesos. And that's all for our coding workshop for today. And for those who have finished our coding workshop, and congratulations, you have made your first program in Python. And that will be all. Thank you.
All right. So thank you very much, Stephen, for giving us all of your learnings now to share with our participants for today's. And of course, for those who are not yet done with their code, you can find the full code at bit.ly/CYF-fev09 full code. So our team will be, we will be flashing it on the screen and we will be sharing it in the comment section para mas madali nyo siyang makita. And of course, you will need to send a screenshot of your full code to get your digital certificate. And for the certificate of participation, submit your information at bit.ly/CYF region 4. Ayan. So before we move forward to our next session, just wanted to ask our participants kung how did they feel or how do they feel na nakapag-code sila ng kanilang first code or nakapag-try sila mag-code ulit sa mga hindi na first timer na coders. So, let's go on our comment section and tingnan natin kung ano yung na-feel nila na nakapag-try silang mag-code. Okay. So, mostly, may mga participants tayo na medyo nagkakaroon ng error on their end. So, all you have to do is visit yung ating site for the full code para ma-check nyo din kung saan kayo nagkamali na line. So, you can double check there para makita nyo kung magka-successful na kapag ni-run nyo yung inyong code. It's on bit.ly/cyf-fev09 full code. Ayan. Okay, so for our participants who have successfully run their code, congratulations everyone. You have now successfully run your code for 40 minutes and you still have a lot of learning opportunities ahead of you. All you have to do is be updated sa mga events natin in the CYF, on mga coding workshop natin. And also, we are inviting you to join us at StackTrek Full Stack Coding Bootcamp. And to learn more about the StackTrek's Full Stack Coding Bootcamp, please help me welcome StackTrek's Head of Growth, Haifa Karina Baluyos.
Very interested to pursue a career as a coder in the IT industry, but isn't confident with your skills or with having zero or minimal experience, then this opportunity is for you. In the next few minutes, you'll learn about the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp that trains you to become a job-ready programmer in just 4 months. So as you can see here, you have two options. The first one is the co-living bootcamp. This is the first of its kind here in the Philippines as it combines both learning and lifestyle into one exciting and rewarding experience. It means you will be living in one building with other boot campers and you will be able to leverage all of the amenities and the social experience of learning with other boot campers. And then the other option is digital. It is virtual. That means you can take this boot camp anywhere. By anywhere, it means if you are in the province, then you can take this boot camp at the comforts of your home. Or if you enjoy traveling, then you can also take the boot camp while you are traveling. Now, for you to be able to understand and get a picture of what exactly are we going to do when we enter the boot camp. So let's assume that you already applied and earned a slot in the boot camp. Here in the next few minutes, you can also imagine and also experience virtually what it is like, what you will be doing, and what will be the experience like learning with StackTrek. So the first thing that you do in your day is have the daily discussions with your trainers and peers. So since you will be building real world applications, always remember that in this boot camp, we focus on your practical skills, the skills that you can really use and immediately practice. And in your daily discussions with your trainer, you will be covering various topics. And the topics that you will be covering will depend based on what module you are in during that day or during that week. So remember, you are building real world applications, and the benefit here for you, especially if you have zero experience yet, is that at the end of the boot camp, you will already have a bunch of projects that can showcase your skills based on the real world applications that you already built. So the next thing that you do after your daily discussions with your trainers and peers is that you now go on and do and complete your hands-on coding modules. It also covers advanced curriculum. We want to focus on the topics and the skills that is relevant today, not relevant 5 years ago, but relevant today and in the future as well. So, after you go through the module, do the exercises, learn the things that you need to learn, once you hit a bump or you're having a difficulty, the platform or the bootcamp has a one-on-one live trainer's capability. And what exactly is this? So in just one click, when you are having a problem with the exercises that you're doing or the project that you are doing, in just one click, you get connected to the next available trainer, and then you will be able to chat with that trainer immediately. So you can share your screen with the trainer, you can code together with your trainer, and you can discuss with the trainer with the challenges that you are having. As you can see, it's quite different because as you code together with your trainer, it feels like it's very interactive and it's very personal because the trainer is focused on you as you try to learn that specific skill or try to resolve that specific challenge. So here we would like to show you what it is like. So here we have an example of a trainer named John, and John is talking with his trainer and trying to consult the problem that he is having. So on the right side, there is that chat, and then at the middle is you can see the code that they are working or coding together. And this is an example of one of the projects from one of our boot campers. So they are building real world applications so that at the end of the boot camp, again, you will have a portfolio ready that showcases your acquired skills. But one of the important things that we also would like to highlight is that in this boot camp, it's not just about the technologies that you learn. At the start of the boot camp, you are going to focus on the module that builds you your core foundation. And having a strong coding foundation allows you to learn different technologies faster. The full stack bootcamp has demo days. So we have demo days each month. And what I will show you is one of the websites built by one of the programmers, and that he was able to build this website in just 1 month in the bootcamp. So as you can see, even if you have zero background, the bootcamp is beginner friendly enough for you to understand and be able to build websites even if you have zero background. In the StackTrek bootcamp, the platform that you will be using is the most advanced training technology here in the Philippines. And the big difference here, we are more focused and having you do more coding hours. If you do more hands-on, you are able to apply immediately the skills that you just learned. The more you apply the skills, the more you realize the things that you need to improve on. And as you learn and apply these skills, you get better and better at it. There you have two options, the co-living and the digital. Digital is virtual, so you can take this one anywhere. And co-living is that you will be living with other boot campers and learning at the same time. Now, we would like to add more details on what the co-living is like. So the co-living bootcamp, you don't have to worry about anything else but to learn and experience life. You don't have to worry about spending for food anymore. It is already covered. Also, the accommodation is also included. The good thing about it is that beyond just learning, of course, we need to live our lives. There is a rooftop wherein if you need a breather, you can just be there, get some air. There are lounges that you can chill around. So in the co-living bootcamp, it's really different than just a typical bootcamp. You learn because that's the main thing that you want to do in the bootcamp. But also, there are in person sessions wherein you get inspired from people from the industry. In the co living bootcamp, there are barbecue nights, movie nights, and weekend parties that you can be part of and socialize. You can also leverage on the amenities and gym program. This is what it looks like to be part of the co-living bootcamp. It's very different. You learn, but at the same time, you have fun. So the co-living bootcamp is situated mainly around BGC and Makati. So you can imagine that if you want to also go out, it's BGC is just 5 minutes walking distance. And the benefits of being part of the bootcamp is that we have job partners wherein we negotiated with them that if you are a graduate of the bootcamp, you will have at least 25 to 30K starting salary. And this is quite high considering that you have zero experience and you are still starting out. So one of the key benefits here at StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp is that more than just a learning, we help you accelerate your career. So don't worry about having zero experience. Don't worry about being a non-coder and you want to enter the industry. Because if you finish and be a graduate of the bootcamp, you already have guaranteed job interviews. And if you graduate at the top 30, then you have guaranteed job offers already. There's no stopping you in getting the IT industry. As long as you are with the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp, then the opportunities for you is beyond just learning. It goes over to you landing your first job and landing a highly paying job as well. So here, why IT? These are just the published rates of IT today. If you have 1 to 4 years, you will be earning on average 45K monthly. If with 5 years, you will be earning around 80K. As you level up, let's say to senior manager, you can even go to 172,000 for your monthly salary. Once you are able to enter the IT industry, the first step is the hardest, but once you are already in, over opportunities are left and right. So you really have high earning potential once you are able to enter the IT industry. And with that one, if you are interested, you can apply now. The link is here below. It's bit.ly/StackTrek Bootcamp application. And if you have questions, then feel free to find us on Facebook. You can message us there. And we hope that the StackTrek Full Stack Bootcamp is one of the opportunities that you will leverage on as you enter the IT industry and land your first tech job. And with that one, thank you so much, everyone, and have a good day.
All right. So thank you so much, Haifa, for sharing with everyone what is StackTrek's Full Stack Bootcamp, and we look forward to seeing you at the bootcamp. Again, just a reminder, if some of you guys have not yet finished with your code, you can see the full code at bit.ly/CYF-Feb09 full code. And again, for the certificate of participation, submit your information at bit.ly/CYF region 4. Okay, so before we end, if you have any questions about the bootcamp, you can message us at fb.com/StackTrek, and we will be answering your queries about the full stack coding bootcamp of StackTrek. Okay, for some announcements, before we end our session for today, we will be having a Stack League tech sessions with digital certificates. First, we will be having on a career session with uh, a Stack League career session being a potentialite in tech industry on February 15, Wednesday, 6 p.m. You can register at bit.ly/stackleague-feb15. We will also be having a tech session with Stack League, so innovating with Java, the latest trends and best practices on February 23. That's Thursday, 6 p.m. at Microsoft Philippines, Makati City. And of course, live broadcast will be available for online viewers. And we're glad to announce that we will be having or we will be launching the season 3 of Stack League. That's February 10, Friday, 6 p.m. at Microsoft Philippines, Makati City. And of course, live broadcast will be also available for online viewers. You can reserve your slot at bit.ly/Stack League Season 3. And you can email us at info @stacktrek.com for any questions with regards to any updates, events, or upcoming opportunities for you. And you can get the latest updates for future coding workshops at fb.com/stacktrek/events. And don't forget to join our Code Your Future FB community. All right. So on behalf of StackTrek team, I would like to say thank you to everyone for joining Code Your Future 40 minutes coding workshop for non-coders in partnership with the ICT Region 4A and 4B. This has been your host, King. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.